The NFL world has these teams all wrong. Because in today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the most overrated and underrated teams going into the 2023 NFL season. Now, the way that I determined my list today was looking at the win over under totals per DraftKings Sportsbook going into the 2023 NFL season. I'm also taking into consideration the overall opinion of the NFL world and what the media has been saying and which teams that they've been hyping up. So let's get right into my list of the most underrated and overrated teams in the NFL. My first underrated team is the Baltimore Ravens, who have an over-under win total of a 9.5. Listen, Lamar Jackson is back. He's got a new contract. He's ready to go. He's not going to miss as much time as he did last year, I don't believe. He's also got a revamped receiver room with Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham. Adding to that, I think Rashad Bateman is going to continue to get better, and Mark Andrews is still one of the NFL's best tight ends. New offensive coordinator Todd Monken is going to change the offense and make it much better than Greg Roman had it in years past. And looking at John Harbaugh, the head coach, he has a career 607 win percentage, which is equivalent to about 10.3 wins. I do think that the defense is going to be better as well. Kyle Hamilton is young. David Ajabo is going to be able to play this year. So I really do think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to go over on their 9.5 win over under total. My first overrated team is going to be the New Orleans Saints, who also have a win over under total of 9.5. What that tells me is that the Saints and the Ravens are viewed as about the same team, and I couldn't think further from the truth. I think the Saints are significantly below the Baltimore Ravens. They have an aging defense. You know, guys like Tyrann Mathieu, he's 31. Cameron Jordan is 32. They lost Marcus Davenport in free agency. So I think their defense is going to be worse, obviously. Derek Carr is an upgrade, and I think he's the reason that most people are pointing upwards for the Saints to be a lot better this year. But I'm not going to act like Derek Carr is some elite quarterback. I don't think, they got like an MVP caliber guy like the Jets possibly could have. We saw last year how trading for a star quarterback doesn't always work out. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. It's not a guarantee that it's going to work out. So just saying. Also, and my big one for not believing in the Saints this year is I don't love their head coach. Dennis Allen has a .283 career winning percentage, which if you extrapolate that to a 17-game season is less than 5 wins. So Dennis Allen is a really bad head coach in my opinion. I don't think their defense is good enough, and Derek Carr isn't too big of an upgrade for me to give them 10 or more wins in the NFL this year. Another underrated team going into 2023 is the Seattle Seahawks. Their win over under total is expected to be 8.5, which last year, being that they went 9-8, you can already say that that is a good sign. But they got better this year. They got JSN. They got Devin Witherspoon. They signed quality guys in free agency. The draft gave them a lot of depth pieces, and it really helped to strengthen their biggest weakness, which was their run defense, right? So I think that the Seahawks are only going to be better. Additionally, the rookies that all played last year, Kenneth Walker, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Charles Cross, Abe Lucas, they're all going to be better ideally in 2023, right? Geno Smith, again, that's the big question mark for people. I don't even think he has to be great. He's got a really good supporting cast around him. If he can really just tread water and be, decent, then I think the Seahawks can be a legitimate contending team in the NFC. I have them winning at least 10 games. I think that that's very much within the realm of possibility. Additionally, Pete Carroll. I mean, he's a winner, right? He's won a lot of games in his career. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL, and I think that he is not never, but I don't think that he's going to underachieve with the very young and talented Seahawks roster that he's built. My next overrated team is the Las Vegas Raiders, now captained by Jimmy Garoppolo. Their over-under win total is 7.5, which to me is very high. They're in the toughest division in the NFL, in my opinion, the AFC West. They got to play the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos twice a year. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think that he was more of a product of Kyle Shanahan when he was in San Francisco, and even with Shanahan, he wasn't great at times. I don't think that he is going to be the certified Pro Bowler that Raiders fans are hoping that he's going to be. And, he's also dealt with injuries past couple of years, so there's no guarantee that he's on the field for 17 games. The defense is bad. I'm talking about the back seven. The front seven, the defensive line, now with Tyree Wilson should be pretty good with Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, and Tyree Wilson. But, the rest of their defense is lacking. Their star running back is currently in a holdout, Josh Jacobs. There's no guarantee that he plays this year. I mean, we saw Le'Veon Bell sit out basically the whole year a couple years ago for the Steelers. So there's no guarantee where that's going. Josh McDaniels, is also a bad head coach. He's got a career 378 winning percentage, which would put them at about 6.5 wins if he stays on par. I just don't have a lot of faith in this Raiders team, and I think getting 8 wins or more is just not a realistic outcome for this Raiders team in 2023. My next underrated team going into 2023 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their over/under win total is 9.5, and I think that they're going to surpass that. They are in a bad division. First of all, I mean the Texans and Colts just picked within the top four. If you're the Texans, they picked 3 of the top 4 picks. The Titans aren't good either. So the Jaguars, I think, have the benefit of an easy division. They also have some really good new additions, such as Anton Harrison, the tackle, Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver. That's not even mentioning the fact that I think guys like T-Law are going to get better. Christian Kirk's going to be the offense for a second year. Doug Peterson is going to get more acclimated with coaching this team. Look at their schedule. I'm telling you, look at their schedule. They have a pretty easy schedule. So it would not surprise me if they kind of go crazy for a little bit and they get a top couple seed in the AFC. And then they also have, like I said, young guys, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, that are going to do good work. So very excited to see where the Jaguars go. And I think 9.5 is a little bit underrating them going into this season. And my last overrated team for the 2023 season is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year they went 8-9. This year, going into 2023, their over/under win total is 6.5. So they're projected to be, maybe a game worse without Tom Brady, and I think that that's going to be a lot more. Last year, winning 8 games with Tom Brady, people thought that Tom Brady fell off a cliff, but in reality, it was the Buccaneers that fell off a cliff after their Super Bowl win. Losing Bruce Arians was huge. The guys are getting older. They're getting, less athletic, I guess you could say. And, losing Tom Brady, we saw what happened to the Patriots, right? The Patriots have never been the same. I think that the Buccaneers are a bottom 3 or 4 team. I think that they're going to be more in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes than anything else. Also, Todd Bowles, his career winning percentage is 400. So, not very good as a head coach. I don't know if he lasts the entire year, to be honest with you. And not to mention that they had the 31st ranked special teams last year. So if their offense isn't going to be good with Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, and their defense is getting older, and their special teams is ranked 31st, I don't know where you want the wins to come from this team. So these are my most overrated and underrated teams going into 2023. Let me know who your teams are in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.